Galnet News Digest, 21st of January 3311. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, should Thargoids be invited back to HIP 22460? And should there be another Distant Worlds expedition?
A leading bug hunter has demanded that the Thargoids be allowed to recolonise the system where the Second Thargoid War started. Commander Firion of the Vortex Squadron has expressed concern that the total elimination of Thargoids would lead to humanity forgetting how to fight the aliens. Another invasion by the Thargoids is inevitable, although we don't yet have any idea whether it might be next year or next century. Firion argues that we should keep our anti-Xeno pilots in training for this day, and he started a petition to get the Thargoids to return to HIP 22460, from which they departed after being beaten in battle by anti-Xeno pilots from the AXI, XSF, and other organisations on Sunday the 12th of January. Firion stopped short of accusing Commander Meccan, who organised the event, of attempted xenogenocide, although it may seem to some that Meccan is modelling himself on his hero, Salvation, whose attempts to wipe out the Thargoids went so disastrously wrong. In any case, there is a happy compromise to end this story. There's general agreement amongst anti-Xeno groups that the California Nebula, which continues to have a vibrant community of Thargoids, should be declared a sanctuary for the aliens, which will be permitted to continue terrorising the mainly Alliance settlements in the region. The sanctuary will be funded by tourism, with a Thargon Swarm petting zoo, and a sustainable and responsible programme of allowing visitors to cull excess Thargoids. For a small fee, anti-Xeno tourists will be permitted to keep hunting trophies, such as Thargoid hearts, which make a lovely centrepiece on any dining table. The Vortex Squadron is operating a carrier shuttle to the California Nebula hunting grounds, while the Anti-Xeno Initiative will be running its Finance Friday events in the California Sector BA-A E6 system at the high-intensity Anti-Xeno Combat Zone around Planet 4. Even the Thargoids seem to be enjoying themselves.
The people that organised the 2 Distant Worlds expeditions to Beagle Point are thinking about organising a third, and they're interested in hearing what people think. Distant Worlds took the idea of lone explorers and reimagined them as commanders with social skills, travelling in a huge ragged convoy, doing occasional mass jumps and turning up at pre-designated waypoints at a pre-designated time and camping out as a cluster of ships on distant planetary surfaces. The first 2 expeditions took place before fleet carriers had been invented. Jump ranges were low, and without any deep space stations to repair the ships taking part, they were endurance events. The destination? The furthest easily reachable star from Sol was underwhelming. It was travelling with other explorers that was the point. Distant Worlds 2 was a victim of its own success, with around 14,000 commanders signed up, 10 times the number who took part in the first expedition. The organising committee did a lot more organising than enjoying the travel, and so there was a long hiatus. The third Distant Worlds expedition, should it happen, will start at the beginning of next year, in January 3312, the 10th anniversary of the first one. Where it will go and what it will attempt to achieve are topics up for discussion. The organisers are keen to avoid it becoming an outing for a cluster of fleet carriers, although they plan to bring along a couple that commanders can use as mobile bases as the expedition progresses. There may be challenges and initiatives along the way. To the delight of many, retired author, scribbling Senator Drew Wagar has threatened to write a narrative around the expedition. If you have thoughts about a possible Distant Worlds expedition next year, the organising committee would love to hear from you.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.